Well, for our first episode in the new season, spring, we thought, well, we'd come out and enjoy spring-like weather. Well, spring has kind of left us for a while, but welcome anyway to Eddie's Corner. I'm Eddie Appelfeld without a corner. This is season 17, episode 61. Glad you're with us. Where are we? We're at the beautiful Druid Ridge Cemetery in Pikesville. We thought we'd come out here and enjoy the geese, the swans, the seagulls, whoever else wants to join us. Anyway, for this first show of the new season, something a little different. We are going to revisit places we've been through in the last 2 or 3 years. Also, we're going to visit a new place today. It's a place, well, it's a bakery. You're going to see how they make some delicious products. So, find a comfortable spot and join us for this edition of Eddie's Corner. Well, as I just mentioned in the opening, for this season of Eddie's Corner, we're going to, revisit some of the places that we visited during COVID when things were, problematic at that time. And our very first location is Bread and Circuses right here in the heart of Towson, 401 Delaware Avenue at the corner of Chesapeake. We were here, I think it was last summer. Things were, different then than they are now. And to tell us how they're different now, we're going to meet Steve here. He runs the restaurant along with his wife, Martha. Thanks for having us back.
Appreciate it, Eddie.
First of all, so here we are, 2022, spring. How are things different?
Things are great, and our Help Wanted sign is brighter than ever. We're definitely busy. The pandemic's in the rear view mirror, I should say, and the governor of our state did a spectacular job. The restaurant is outside dining, inside dining, tons of space, tons of folks returning. Our only concern is that we are short-staffed like everyone in America, but it's been great, exciting, and we're really excited to have a good spring and summer this year.
The restaurant is open 7 days. Breakfast, lunch, dinner reservations, probably a good idea. We had a great lunch before we sat down here. 3 wonderful salads. What were they?
Our first salad you had was our Claude salad. It's named for Claude Monet. So it's a goat cheese strawberry nut salad with a raspberry balsamic vinaigrette on that. We also had our Marcus Aurelius, named for my favorite Roman leader. Bread and Circus is our name, of course. That's a house-cured smoked salmon. Caesar salad, so that's really nice. With homemade croutons, really a good thing. And lastly, we had our Salvador. It's a seared diver scallop salad, named for Salvador Dali. So that's a diver scallop, dates, roasted red peppers. That's in a sesame ginger vinaigrette, mixed field greens. So just fun springtime salads in keeping with this great weather we're about to be in, outside dining with COVID over finally and stuff like that.
Named for Claude Monet. Didn't he play for the Yankees?
I think he played center field between Mickey Mantle and DiMaggio. I think he played.
Now, you're very, very keen on your bourbon story here. Tell us about that.
We are big bourbon fans as well as Scotch fans. So we had the opportunity to partner with Jefferson's Ocean Aged Bourbon. Trey Zauer is the brewmaster of that fine institution. Basically, the barrel we have at the restaurant, it sort of by happenstance, he had it on a shark expedition boat and forgot about storing the barrel there with his buddies because they would drink the bourbon. They opened the barrel 2 years later after bouncing around the sea for a while, and they said they tasted caramel popcorn, almost like Fisher's Ocean City. So basically, they do that as a I won't use the word gimmick, but as a new way to enhance and show off their bourbon. So we have what's called Jefferson's Aged at Sea Ocean Air Bourbon. We got a barrel, tons of it. I think I had a little bit too much last night, but anyway, that's what's going on, Eddie.
And they're available in a shot or drink or...
Absolutely, cocktails, everything. Please come and check it out. Try, sample, get a bottle, etc. We really are, love to have you enjoy this wonderful product.
Now, to find out what Bread and Circuses really means, go to the website, right?
Absolutely. If you're a history buff, you'll know it instantly. Our name is 2,000 years old, and you can check
no more than that. Let them go to the website. Okay, Bread and Breakfasts Bread and Circuses. I knew I was going to say that's why, because they do it. 401 Delaware Avenue, right at the corner of Chesapeake. Later on in the show, we're going to go to another restaurant that we've revisited, and then in between, a bakery, which is our next stop. Something that I think is a little different for Eddie's Corner, even though we've done something like this when we were at Mrs. Posey's about maybe a year ago. We're at Rosendorff, or Rosendorff, if you will, 1111 Greenwood Road, Pikesville, just off of Old Court Road. In business since 2000, at this location for about 6 years. This is Yossi, along with his dad. They own and operate this wonderful bakery, which sells to retail. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Your dad has an interesting story, how all this began. Briefly, what is it?
So my dad came to the States in about 1995 with 7 kids and about $200. And he wasn't making enough money. And he goes to his accountant and he's like, what am I supposed to do? And his accountant says, well, listen, what can you do? And my dad used to bake bread for the Sabbath every week. And his accountant goes, well, next week you're going to bake 2 extra loaves and sell it to your neighbor. And that's pretty much how we started back in about 2000. Is my dad started selling bread to his neighbors, and then we were using it first our oven, and then we started using our neighbor's oven and ours as well. And then we grew into a catering facility. We were working on weekends and at nights at a catering facility, and then we built up this facility, and that's pretty much where we started. Is an immigrant story.
Okay, so that's your background, but what are we doing here today? What are you making?
So today we're making we're making a variety of different breads. We have everything from sliced breads, like rye bread, multigrain, pumpernickel. We make a lot of buns, Kaiser rolls, sub rolls, hot dog rolls, but we specialize specifically in challah breads, which is a traditional Jewish bread, which is super high in fat, super high in eggs, super high in oil, super high in sugar. And it's a bread that crosses all different ethnicities, but it's a traditional Jewish style bread that we use for the Sabbath to make our blessings on.
All the bread you make is made right here.
All the bread we sell is produced right in this facility over here at Greenwood Road.
Just curious, Yossi, I'm looking at all this bread here. How many loaves do you make a day, a week?
As long as you see me here, we're not making enough bread.
Take me to the process, where the bread or the loaf or the dough starts until it comes out looking like this.
So the process is a very simple process with a bit of love that's got to go into it. So pretty much we take bread, which are 7 very simple ingredients, or traditionally all the way as little as 3 simple ingredients, all the way up to 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 ingredients. But the main ingredients for bread is flour, water, eggs, oil, sugar, salt, and yeast. None of these ingredients actually taste good, but together we mix them up together in our mixers. They go into our production process, and from there it's a waiting game. The more we wait and the more we let the bread sit and ferment, the better our bread tastes. So depending upon the bread which we're making, if it's a simple loaf of rye bread like this, such as this, we'll let it ferment between 7 to 14 hours. If it's a challah bread, we'll let it ferment all the way from 24 to 36 hours.
Okay, well, it's very interesting. Also, in the beginning, or the store when you first come in, you have a very small retail outlet, right?
So over here we have a very small retail outlet. Pretty much when we opened up this facility, we weren't thinking about running a store over here. This was strictly wholesale, but people kept on going through the front doors and they would walk into cubicles. So we decided once people are coming in, we might as well sell them bread straight out of the oven. And people are more than welcome to come in here throughout the week. Okay. And there's fresh bread constantly coming out of the oven. They're more than welcome to request anything what's fresh and come back and get whatever's fresh.
I think you talk faster than I do. The last question, what outlets do you sell?
So you can find our breads all the way from northern Virginia, northern New Jersey, all the way down to southern Virginia. We sell bread to Whole Foods. We sell bread to Safeways and ShopRites, Costco's, and your local delis. A lot of Wegmans too. And you'll find our bread at, say, for example, at Miss Shirley's, at Taos and Hot Bagels. They're using our sub rolls. Miss Shirley's is using our bread for their French toast, and other random small delis.
This is a real local story. Yossi was born in Israel, and your dad was born in South Africa, right?
And my mom was born in America, so I am confused.
Okay. Yes, we don't know where we turn next. Okay, that's Rosendorff's right here in Pikesville. Come in and try any of the breads. They're delicious. Take it from me, especially that raisin challah. Yossi, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, as I mentioned, if this place looks familiar, we have been here. This is at least our 3rd time filming, and I've been here much more just to eat. Okay, gas has gone up, rent has gone up. And obviously, if you've been to a restaurant, you know food prices have gone up. Poultry, meat, seafood, whatever. Why? Many reasons. And to help us explain why that is, G.I. Engel, if anybody knows, it's this guy, the chef and owner of Salsa Grill. Been in business since about 1993, that's all, at this particular restaurant. That's really noteworthy. Same restaurant all those years. Jay, so the question is directly, why is the food in the restaurant, all those categories, so much higher now?
Oh, it's hard to guess what exactly it is. There's a ton of different issues. I mean, the food cost is my main thing, and just the raise in all the prices is what's really hurting us at the moment.
So food distributors are charging you more, is that what you're saying?
Yes, everything is. My main thing is chicken, and it has tripled in price. And that's the largest thing that I use in the restaurant.
Why? Is it less chickens or harder to get to the store or what?
A lot of different. I was told that last year one of the reasons was on top of the labor shortage or the chicken shortage or the feed shortage, they actually chose the wrong rooster last year in the chicken industry, and that was.
You're being serious about that?
Totally serious. Yes.
Chose the wrong rooster.
Yes.
I guess that could be a problem.
That was only that's just one of the things, and so I don't know.
I would assume that restaurateurs like yourself really don't like to raise prices to their customers, right?
No, it's very difficult to raise your prices. Although everybody has, in the last year, anybody who's still in business has raised their prices. We're actually getting ready to again. Food costs are astronomical at the moment.
In any particular field, for example, is seafood more than meat and chicken?
Across the board, we've actually been selling a ton of racks of lamb because everything else has caught up to the price of rack of lamb. So you might as well eat rack of lamb. That's.
What can a restaurateur do so they won't have to raise prices? There must be some things you can do.
I mean, they're only cut the portions and lower the cost, or maybe take some of the expensive things off the menu. But now chicken is just as expensive as the expensive stuff. So it's very hard to figure out what to do.
Okay, so we're in springtime. Do you think this will continue, or do you see any way that the prices will eventually go down?
We are just going day to day. We go day to day, week to week, see what happens. We've been okay, and we're hoping to hang in there, and just along with everybody else. Good luck to everybody. People do need to support their local businesses and stuff.
One thing you can do before you go to a restaurant and call and ask what the prices are.
Absolutely. You can check. You check online. Everybody is online these days. We've actually just added ordering online recently. And so you can, they pop right up on our printer.
No matter what the prices are, you want to come to Salsa Grill for the paella, for the crab cakes, whatever. Great food. Here's the chef and also Gabrielle in the back.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay, Jay, thank you for having us in again.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
To conclude this edition of Eddie's Corner, we're giving you our rendition of Swan Lake. Isn't that a beautiful animal? It really is. And he's the boss out here, too. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Eddie's Corner. I'm Eddie Appelfeld. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, listen, if you want to send us someplace, a restaurant, Mr. Media at Comcast.net, Mr. spelled out. We thank you for joining us. It's been fun as always. I'm Eddie Appelfeld. See you again.
That's all, folks.